Coming up on Beers in the Shed. Well, we're not in the shed, we're actually in the bush because we are live from Cape York. We're talking, are older four-wheel drives actually better than new four-wheel drives? And of course, we've got all the regular features. We've got rigs, we've got fails, and we've got prizes galore. So let's get into it. Mate, Cape York, in case you haven't realised.
Before you say anything, mate.
If there's a better noise than that in the world, I haven't heard it.
That noise in this location, Cape York, having a cold iron jack up here, mate. Look, we've been on the road for a little while. As you can probably tell, we're a bit grubby.
But don't judge us.
But it's been an absolutely epic adventure so far, mate.
So far, mate. We're about halfway through. I'm not going to give any secrets away just yet. But talking of epic adventures, I tell you what, the first episode of the Kimberley trip, which we did not that long ago, gone up on the old YouTubes.
It's gone.
Been a bit popular.
Exactly right, mate. Look, I've only got minimal correspondence from back home, but everyone is saying that is one of the best shows we've ever done. That's a big call.
It's a huge call.
But it's also one of our favourite shows we've ever done as well. We were talking about this the other day. We've got a lot to talk about when we're driving the old 40 series up in Cape York.
Say what? Can't hear a thing in that
Can't hear a thing.
But we were saying it was absolutely insane. And I guess the reason I brought it up was episode 2 is coming out. Next week.
That's the thing about episode 2. If you thought episode 1 was a cracker,
no.
And it was, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Episode 2 will blow it away because I reckon that was the most fun of the trip.
Well, we were left to our own devices.
That's right. Our guide, Ronnie, he had to go back. He had a broken vehicle, had to get back. We were on our own in the middle of nowhere, and let's just say things escalated quite a bit.
Let's leave it there.
I think so. I think so. But look, we lost the track. I mean, we were following a track. We got onto the wrong track, I think, at one stage or several times.
I was going to say, not just once, several times.
We were following a track that was that old. It had trees like this thick growing through the track. It was absolutely off tap.
Off tap.
Like, I mean, if you thought 1 was epic, and it was, number 2 will blow your socks off, absolutely. Well, this is hot off the press. It's so exciting that we've stopped everything in Cape York to tell you this one because for the next 1,000 orders, that's right, 1,000 orders on snatchclothing.com.au, we're giving away a free gift. Ooh. So the gifts are everything, mate, from hoodies, we're talking about the latest range of Snatch clothing. There's going to be stickers, stubby holders, you name it, 1,000 prizes for the first 1,000 orders after this message.
I'm going to go one bigger. I'm going to top you. All throughout June, any order for anything on the Snatch Clothing website stands a chance to win a golden ticket.
Golden ticket, just like Chris came away.
Chris won one.
In Victoria, he had the time of his life. He came away, a money can't buy experience, come away with us. That's pretty cool.
Check your packaging. Open the packaging carefully.
Exactly.
Look around inside, rummage around. If you get a golden ticket, come with us.
Exactly right.
Not in that.
No,
you'll
we'll
die.
even take something better for you. You get to choose what car we'll take. But that's a really cool thing, mate. Next 1,000 orders,
free gift,
prize guaranteed.
And all of June.
Look, getting quick because last time that went off in about 2 days. So make sure you're getting really, really quick. And for the rest of June, got a chance to win a golden ticket.
Snatchclothing.com.au. Now, before we get started, mate, just a quick idea. What are we talking about this week? The hot topic this week, I think, is one that's quite timely because I've spent so much time in this over the last couple of weeks that I'm starting to make better decisions in life. I've got to grow up a bit before I make these decisions. But what we're talking about this week are older four-wheel drives, Exhibit A, better than newer four-wheel drives?
Are they more reliable and more capable?
B. Well,
look, that's a big topic, and I can't wait to get right into that, mate.
Before we do that, mate.
Before we do, look, this is something that's taken the nation by storm. It's always exciting when...
the nation?
Well, I think it is. It's very exciting when, like, a new business pops up in the four-wheel drive industry.
It's not a business.
It's not a business, but... Shock Customs is really taking the industry by storm. I mean, there's a lot of fabricators out there that are probably thinking they're a little uneasy at the moment. They've got a couple of young blokes having a bit of fun out there. I
don't think they're threatening in any way.
Look, Shock Customs is going, like, there's been a lot of people, not only behind the Shock Customs movement. And in case you're wondering, what is Shock Customs?
I was about to ask. Let's explain that to the folks.
Shock Customs is Shauno and Jocko Customs. Shock Customs. You know,
it's a shock to me too, folks. You're right.
And we live by that motto. Our work is absolutely shocking. And we've decided to start a fabrication business, if you haven't heard, on the grapevine. So we'll be doing anything that requires minimal effort and no straight edges, pretty much.
Now, I've seen some of the work you two have done.
Yeah,
and it is,
fantastic.
you live by your name. Shock. King. What I wanted to show you was some folks at home that have got behind the idea, starting with, you've got old Richard Zammit here, who has built a canopy for his nav.
That's actually quite flash.
Now...
he's taken way more time than we did.
That's the point of fabrication, I would have thought. Skill and time.
Looks like it's actually quite strong too.
It does look like it's very strong. He's given the thumbs up. What I really want to show you here, though, is Steve Matthews. He's done a tray and canopy. Now, due to lockdown, he had no welder. So he made a backyard welder using 2 batteries, and it is still better than what I've seen you guys do.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that. Look, Stephen, that's the sort of skill set we need at Shot Customs, mate. So if you're looking for a gig, I mean, look, we're not going to pay very well, and
at all.
Yeah, nah. And look, we don't have a stack of business coming through the door at the moment.
0.
So look, but that's the sort of. I guess it's just absolute genius, mate. The guy has look at his son.
Yeah,
he's actually quite good.
I'm going to get you to study those photos a bit later on. There's a bloke here I want you to meet.
Yep.
We've got Chris here. He won the run for winch last time.
Yep.
And in the blink of an eye, he's installed it.
I would have done the same. The second it would have arrived in the post, I would have been so excited to put that bad boy on.
Actually, I would have put it in the lounge room and just run the winch rope out and back in it. Just to have fun with
grab beers with it.
Yeah, exactly. But there you go. I'm just going to read out what he said to us because I think that's important. He says, "Cheers, legends. Winch is now in. Just waiting for a chance to get out and get stuck just so I can use the Runva. It's a cracking unit. Thank you all."
That's nice, isn't it?
Well, Chris, if you're watching, and you will be, mate, our pleasure.
It goes to show, though, we give a lot of prizes away on the shed. It's cool to see these prizes getting used and all the rest of it. So that's fantastic.
It's the whole idea, mate. Our older four-wheel drives, we're going to use the word better, more capable, more comfortable, more reliable than newer four-wheel drives. Now, I'll let you start. I've got a few ideas, but I'll let you start.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay, well, look, the long and short of it is, I want to start off with a little story that happened actually to get to this position right here in Cape York. I've been driving the 47. You would have seen this, no doubt, last week's YouTube episode.
Can I just butt in for 1 second?
Yeah.
People are probably wondering what the heck's going on with regards to the 47 and you and I.
Yeah.
There's no news here.
What you and I?
No, there's no news, no you and I. But I'm just going to say it now because I think it's important to know. This is our 10th trip up here together.
Yeah, to Cape York.
Yes. It's sort of an anniversary for us.
Wow.
So we thought we'd do something a bit special and give a bit of a nod, a bit of a salute, a harking back in time to the guys that opened up this part of the world.
Yeah, the people that really did Cape York, in my opinion.
100%. And they did it in trucks like that. So we thought we'd do exactly the same.
And as well, we've been long believers that you don't need the latest and greatest of everything to get off-road. So we wanted to put our money where our mouth was and basically go and do one of the most remote and harder Cape trips we've ever done in an old jigger like this. And let me just say, the last week and a half, the reason why I'm so dirty, these are my cleanest clothes I've got.
Same.
And it's been absolutely wild.
Yep.
But I want to get into the story of how this is going to, I guess, put the foundations of my opinion of old vehicles and new vehicles, because driving this old jigger up, I left my place in the Gold Coast and drove basically 2,000 k's up to Cairns. Now, from about 15 k's out of my place, it started overheating. So you can imagine how slow I was going, and it kept overheating. And the thing is I drove 2,000 kilometres with a radiator that was 90% blocked from all the rust and flake and stuff inside the engine that it's gone through all the cooling jets that have gone basically into the radiator, got stuck, and that was causing me to overheat. Now, when you're on the road and you're trying your best to try and keep this vehicle going, it was a tough slog. All I could do was I made a little spacer out of a bit of recovery equipment to pop the bonnet up. I put a ratchet strap over the bonnet to get maximum airflow in, and I could drive at about 70 k's an hour, and that was the only way I could limp up here. But I had a lot of time to think on that 2,000 k's up to Cairns, and I was just thinking to myself, look, okay, it kind of sucks, it's overheating, I'm going super slow, but what new vehicle could cop that type of abuse, overheat the whole way up for 2,000 k's up to Cairns? We basically cleaned out the radiator and got to Cairns properly, got flushed completely, and it's never skipped a beat since. Well, okay, this morning I had to change the starter motor as well.
But that's a small thing.
It filled up for the water in the last week of doing some really deep water crossings. And but this is an old rig that's about 40 years old, and it's still chugging along and not skipping a beat.
Here's the thing. Had it been a new vehicle, there wouldn't have been rust and flake in the block, and it wouldn't have overheated from the start. This
is true. But say there was, I just don't think the new vehicles could cop the punishment the old ones will.
Now, here's the thing. I was having to speak to Anthony the other day. You guys will meet him coming up. But I was speaking to Anthony the other day, and we were talking about the evolution of four-wheel driving in Australia. I'm getting to a point in a minute. You and I know that we've driven some of the hardest tracks in Australia. Over the last couple of years, we've been driving these tracks and we're noticing they are not being driven as much as they used to.
Yeah, the hard tracks.
The hard tracks are not being driven as much as they used to. You're getting to them and they're not sort of dug out. You can see that they haven't been driven in a long time. That's because of the arrival of these newer vehicles. They're just they're brilliant. They are brilliant, but they're sort of not designed
Well, that's
to
right.
drive those harder
if
tracks.
you want to drive the big tracks where you need 35s and twin lockers and all the rest,
37s
and then
even,
also you need to put your vehicle in a position where you might do panel damage and stuff like that. You're probably not going to take your brand new D-Max, Hilux, Triton, all the modern dual cabs, your 200 series, your Y62, all these flash new vehicles on those tracks. And that's probably why so many younger people as well are getting into new vehicles these days.
100%.
When you and I were young, I mean, you'd scrape together whatever you got, and that'd be your first car.
Oh, yeah.
And then by the time you get into your first four-wheel drive, mine was a Suzuki Sierra. And let's just say it was pretty basic.
Yeah,
pretty
the best.
basic.
A couple of tubs from Bunnings in the back. Actually, I haven't moved on from there. I'm still using tubs from Bunnings. But you're right. And so I guess in that response, the older vehicles are working their way out of the industry almost a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
A little bit. So let's get back to another one here. I think there's a time and a place for both.
Yeah.
I really do think there's a time and a place for both. On the way up here now, if you're doing a massive touring trip, you've got the kids with you, you've got all their toys, you've got the bikes, don't put them in a 47 series.
I think one of the big things that people will have an opinion right now when they're watching this, they're going to be thinking, heck, old vehicles, you can't go wrong, they're tough, reliable and all the rest of it. But how many times has a new vehicle let us down on a big trip?
I can't think of a time.
It's got something to be said. I mean, we go to some of the most remote places in this country, and if you're thinking new vehicles are weak and they're not going to make it, they're not going to be as reliable as the old jiggers. I mean, just from our experience.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to let a cat out of the bag. It's a story that happened quite some time ago, and I think I can tell people about it. We were driving up here, Cape York, Cape Flattery. You'd buggered off.
Yep.
I had to come through a massive water crossing in the older D-Max that we had. Flooded the whole thing because I got stuck in there. Water came up to about here inside.
Yeah, never a good sign.
New vehicle knew straight away to shut itself down. Older vehicle wouldn't. Probably would have kept chugging. I probably would have hydraulic locked the vehicle. In this case, the computer turned itself off. We got out by winch recovery. I took the little computer chip out. I sat it on a rock. We made a cup of tea. A couple of hours later, I put it back in and drove all the way back to Cairns.
Yeah.
I don't think an older vehicle could have done that.
Well, it wouldn't have had the computer in the first place. Would have chugged along.
Would have had a laptop in your backpack, but that's about it. But what I'm getting at is if you tried to get out, maybe you would have hydraulic locked it. He didn't have the smarts to know this was a bad situation.
That's right. Some of the modern vehicles, when they start overheating, they automatically shut off. They're basically foolproof. They're foolproof in a lot of ways. Look, I want to talk about reliability since you brought it up.
Done.
Let's look at the reliability of some of these older vehicles. What I like about them is they are so simple.
I was going to say simplicity.
So simple. Yeah. And that's what makes them, I think, so reliable. Like, that's why this will last 40 years. And this one over here, well, I guess the jury's still out on that.
It's not old enough
on that one. It's not old enough yet. But I don't think, my opinion is, you won't see that doing another Cape trip in 40 years' time. You just will not.
I'd be surprised. I'd be very surprised.
They're very complex vehicles, and you get a little bit of salt into it, and say something goes with the wiring. We're talking about thousands of meters of wiring that's in that one. I've got about 4 wires in that one. You can replace them in about an afternoon with 3 beers.
This is true.
Even this morning, I changed a starter motor. We got a lot of water into it. Just the ease of changing that starter motor. There's 2 19 mil bolts basically.
And out she comes.
She comes straight out with a plug. And I was just remembering back to like a 79 series or even one of these 200 series, a starter motor. Toyota recommend an 8 to 9 hour job to change a starter motor because it's in the valley. So if I did a starter motor in something like that up here in Cape York, I'm out.
You're done. I'm out. Can I throw a spanner in the works, speaking of 19 mils? The gearbox you've got in the Dirty 30, if you have a problem with that tomorrow, which you won't, all you've got to do is come into Bramwell Station here, hook up to the internet, rock it, down in Melbourne, can dial into your gearbox, and he can fix the problem for you.
That's right. If it's software related or anything like that, it'll change. Yeah, you can change parameters on that box.
And even if there's something mechanical, he can just give you 1 gear to get you out of here.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for technology in the way new cars are moving. I know, and we both buck it. We don't like it. We buck that trend. We don't think it's cool.
Yeah.
But
no, you're right.
The thing is, it's happening.
You're right.
It's happening, and soon you'll carry a laptop in your car. You'll get some dirty fuel, or something will happen. You'll plug your laptop in. You'll talk to your car, you'll send it an email, and you'll say, why aren't you working?
You're right.
It'll reply. I'm just saying.
Look, okay, we've talked about reliability a bit. Let's get on to how capable some of these vehicles are off-road.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, now I'm going to be the first to say the older vehicles, not as capable as the newer ones. That might be a bit controversial.
Shocks me.
Because
why do you say that?
Okay, this one here, Open Divs, doesn't even own an LSD. We're running pretty stock over here, but if you get a modern stock 200 series, say, they've got fancy traction control. They don't even have lockers. They've got fancy crawl modes. Those things, I've seen them drive insane.
True.
Basically with just stock vehicles.
True.
But they have, I guess, the smarts within their drivetrain to be able to turn wheels at the right time to get the traction they need to get out of places. This one is very, very simple.
You're talking stock though.
Stock, of course.
Yeah,
because you can modify this one probably
to go to tough truck.
Exactly right. You can make that a buggy and compete in the hardest four-wheel drive tournaments in Australia. That one you couldn't modify that much.
If you're talking stock, I'm with you on that. Modern four-wheel drives, way more capable than older four-wheel drives to a certain extent. If you take Shorty, for example, almost the same age as this one, would outdrive that in a heartbeat. Come on, I know it's a bit of pill to swallow.
If you got a different driver in there, yeah, no doubt.
If you got my sister in there, here you go, Jess and Dan. Hope you're both doing well. But I'm with you. The newer four-wheel drives that are coming out today, and I'm just looking around right now, folks, you can't see it, but the campground around us here, it's surrounded by newer four-wheel drives, and just about every single one of them will outdrive this.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
But you got to win some battles and lose some.
I'm going to go into another topic then if we're going to go there.
Yeah.
Let's talk sex appeal. Let's talk rolling down the main street.
Yeah, right.
Now you're going to get a look. I'm talking still stock four-wheel drives.
Okay.
Who's going to get the looks? The bloke in the new four-wheel drive? Or a couple of good-looking roosters sitting in a 47 series?
Exactly right, mate. Exactly right. It's old school cool. There's no doubt about it.
That's right.
We've been driving this thing for a little while now, and everywhere we stop, which is quite often, there will be at least a few people, even a couple of old blokes coming up, or people just go, that is so cool.
Yeah.
And I guess everyone can relate to an old vehicle because there's a time and place where you have been in one of these. Exactly right. Exactly right. So you can relate to it and you get it. There is a certain swag about taking a 47 farm truck up to Cape York.
100% there is. 100% there is. Okay.
It's amazing that we had to clear all the bras off before they were packed over the bonnet and they were stuck in the windscreen wipers up. It's a real hazard.
If you keep your eye open for the upcoming episode, get in touch with me when you see what I'm talking about. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. Let's go into a conclusion here, mate. What do you think? I want you to have a bit of a say here.
Okay. I've got both. I own obviously old vehicles and new vehicles.
Yep.
Far out. For day-to-day driving, there is no doubt that a new vehicle is far superior. For tough tracks, old trucks, if I had to make it line in the sand, this is really hard to do.
Oh, very hard.
I'd have a hybrid of the both, just like the Dirty 30. And I'd have some bits that are new and some bits that are old.
Okay.
That's not really achievable for a lot of people. So I'm going to say old vehicles rule because I love the simplicity. I can work on them. When I come to places like this, I know that even though that's stock standard, I'm going to be driving that thing home. There's no doubt about it. If I break a CV, if I lose a tail shaft, if I blow a rear diff up, there's no matter what, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to be able to limp that thing back home and no matter what.
All right, well, I'm going to say this. I'm not a rich man, I'm not a smart man either. You know this for a fact. I'm going to go both. I'm going to own a new vehicle very soon. We'll let the cat out of the bag about that one later. Don't worry about that. But then I'm going to drive that everywhere for my daily driver. That's going to be my daily driver. I'm going to go touring with it. I'm going to go camping with it. But if I want to go down the beach, hard tracks, I just want to get away for the weekend where I know I'm going to be able to a lot of mud, I might have to rub up against a tree past some tight corners, I'm going to take Shorty. I'm going to take an older vehicle.
That's fair.
Because I can go to the wrecker, I can get a part for it, I can flood it in water, it's not going to bother me. And that older vehicle only cost me $5,000.
I'm going to ask you to choose one though. You got to choose one. You can only have one car. You've got to.
See, I've always said this. I reckon the same with girls. Why can we only have one? Why can't I have an older one?
You'd be lucky to have one, mate.
Why can't I have an older one and a newer one? What's the go there? I think it's the same. I don't think we should have to choose one.
We've been in the bush for a while, folks.
I think we have been in the bush for a while. Okay, if I only had to choose one, it's a daily driver, it's everything.
Everything. You've only got one car.
I'm going to go the older one.
Ooh.
I'm going to go the older one because I'm not a very good mechanic.
Yep.
If I open the bonnet of a new four-wheel drive, I'm flabbergasted, but I can do a few bits and pieces in an older one. And I also like driving. I like the feel of drive. I like changing gears.
Look, if I can just have a tiny segue back, if I could own one vehicle out of all the ones I've got, and I've got quite a few, I'll just choose an 80 series, full stop.
Yeah, it's sort of middle of the road.
It really is because there's nothing modern about them.
No.
But it was I reckon, just a really sweet spot in engineering. Yeah. I think the GQ and the early GUs fit into that as well.
The early GUs,
They're just coil sprung, stupidly capable off the showroom floor.
Yeah, very simple.
Very simple.
Very simple.
And I think that was a sweet spot of forward driving in this country.
I think we've come to a conclusion.
There we go.
We've come to a conclusion. It's right down the middle. It's neither new nor old. It's GU.
The sweet spot.
80 series.
Yep.
Folks, if you're looking for a new four-wheel drive right now, don't bother writing in. It's a GU or it's an 80 series. So what we want to know from you folks, we've talked in the past about the most kilometre old four-wheel drive. We got some doozies.
Oh, yeah.
We got
million kilometres plus.
Gone forever. But what we really want to see is a brand new four-wheel drive that has done the yards, done some huge kilometres. get in touch with us.
Yeah.
Let us know what you've got.
Exactly right. Because we were saying the verdict's still out on these newer vehicles. Have you got a 200 series with 500,000 Ks on it?
You got a Y62 with 500,000
brand new
Ks
D-Max or something like that.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a lot of new vehicles out there that have done some solid Ks.
There'll be some guide vehicles.
And don't just leave a comment of how many Ks you've got on your new vehicle. Tell us what you've done to that vehicle to get it there.
Yep.
Now, have you just changed the oil and kept the maintenance up to it, or have you had to replace an engine or stuff? Let us know.
I reckon it'd be just a 10,000 K service and just keep driving them. They're pretty reliable up to a certain number of kilometres. But what is that number of kilometres? We don't know. How long are they going to go? Let us know. Now, the winner is, of course, in order to do that, you've got to comment down below. So please do that and let us know. We'll be trolling through them. What are they going to win, mate?
Mate, we've got a full Iron Jack merch pack to give away. Nice. So that's a really cool one. You're going to get a fishing shirt. You're going to get singlet, a couple of stubbies. So, stubby holders, the Iron Jack ones.
Yep.
So basically, sort yourself out there. We've got a couple of those to give away. So.
Brilliant. So get in, comments down below. I'll get back to you now.
We've got an awesome deal for you guys now. Direction Plus. I've got 15% off their ProVent catch cans and also their pre-line filters. So if you're thinking of doing a big trip like this, they're the sort of kit you must have in your four-wheel drive, especially a modern vehicle.
We think about the sexy mods when we come up to Cape York. We want big snorkels, we want big winches, spotlights hanging on the front.
How about the mods that will ensure you get home every single time?
Exactly.
So like a pre-filter, of course. You come up here, you don't want to risk it getting a dodgy batch of diesel.
Yep.
And of course, a ProVent catch can, mate, to stop all of that soot going back into your intake, clogging up and making a stack of charcoal, which you don't need.
You don't want that.
You don't need that at all. So look, 15% off. Now, you've got to use the promo code 4WD247. 4WD247. It's so easy to remember. So use that, 15% off. Now's the time. If you're thinking about protecting your four-wheel drive, want some cheap insurance, jump on to Direction Plus and make sure you order us.
Only lasts for a week though, folks, until the 24th. From now until the 24th, so make sure. Get in quick.
Get in quick.
15% better in your pocket than someone else's.
Absolutely.
Trust me on that. Last episode, which seems like not that long ago, and yet it was, a month ago?
Yeah.
We were sitting on the banks of the Pentecost River, beer in hand.
That's right.
Sun setting. It was romantic. It was lovely.
There's always lead back to romance. I mean,
I'm a romantic guy.
It's been a bumpy trip, I suppose. You might have shaken a few things for you.
Shaken a few things loose, I reckon, in that car. And we discussed our bucket list campsites and tracks. And we asked you guys what you thought, and we got a whole bunch of answers here, mate.
Yeah, here we go.
Now,
I want to write some of these down, to be honest with you.
You actually should. You should, because you've never been to this top one here. I'll let you read that one out.
See you out there. Says, the best campsite ever, Murchison Station.
Lovely.
Run West is best. Come on. Did you write this?
No, I didn't write this. Say that word.
Best track ever, Brunswick.
Yeah, Brunswick.
West is best.
Yeah, good on you, see out there. Absolute legend. I did not write that.
That slipped through the gate.
Okay, here we go.
Anyway, Kyle Barnes. How was Moreton Island not mentioned?
This is true. Fair call. I actually like
Anywhere on the island is special, but the northwestern campsites are something else.
Kyle.
Totally agree.
Kyle, I'm going to go with you on this one. I think, this is going to be divisive. I like Moreton over Fraser.
Wow.
I do.
That is quite controversial.
I do. I like Moreton over Fraser. I think it's smaller. They cap their numbers. You can have campfires.
Yeah.
Massive one for me. You camp on the western side. You can see the sun setting.
Yeah. You're scared of dingoes as well, so that would probably sway you in that decision.
Dingoes. Let's move on. Jimbo says, my favourite destination has to be Sundown National Park by the cliffs and waterfalls.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Jimbo. Sundown National Park out the back of Stanthorpe. That is a cracking little... Don't laugh like as if I don't know where I'm talking about. That's in my backyard, mate. That's a great little national park. Absolutely scenic. Got some really hard, steep, shaly...
You got there in the end.
I was thinking, the cogs were working overtime. Tell you what, the amount of dust up here is just...
Yeah, it gets in your ears, gets in your eyes.
Yep.
Liam Bennett, come on, lads. How did the Simpson Desert not get a shout out? An absolutely incredible part of Australia. And look, Liam,
one of my mates is actually out there right now. Mark, if you're watching, mate, I hope you're having fun. He rang me the other day when I got reception. He happened to be at Birdsville Hotel.
Oh.
And Luke, the drifter, was at the hotel too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a small world out there.
Apparently, I've been to the Birdsville Hotel. I can never remember.
Eight times.
Justin Robson, the Otways in Victoria, boys, magic part of the world. Bonus line if you head to the Grampians for the day. You won't regret it.
Yeah, I've been to the Grampians. Very nice.
I want you to read this one.
Something up. Yugarup Dunes in Western Australia.
Yes.
A must-do trip. As a local, it's still... Did you pay people to do this?
I have nothing to do with this.
As a local, it's still an amazing place to visit after hours and most weekends, even after the many trips he's done down the coast there.
So, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to get down there, to be honest with you, but don't tell Graham that.
Dylan reckons, and I'm going to agree with him on this one because I just did it recently, definitely rode to Beachport. We're actually going to... I'm going to give that guy the winner. He's going to be the winner. I'm saying it.
Done. We didn't mention that, and that South Australia has got some cracking camp spots.
Stunning. And just one more. We've got a bonus award here. We're going to give it to Andre for Yeager Up. We're going to get it to Marina for saying Lorella Springs, Northern Territory, God's country.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
we've been
enough.
there. We love that part of the
That
world.
is a lovely place.
All right.
Well, mate, speaking of Iron Jack, I'll tell you what, there's still a few trips left to win the ultimate bucket list destination. And
what a trip.
I can't believe it. I'm going to be taking a bunch of you guys on my ultimate bucket list destination.
Now,
So
I actually know where it is.
You do. I've told you.
Yep.
I've told
I'm not
you.
saying where it is.
And how epic is it?
I'm as jealous as I could possibly be, and I get to travel around Australia every year.
Exactly. It's going to be that good. If you have ever wanted to catch a barramundi, if you've ever wanted to do something
We'll get a proper fishing guide, don't worry about that.
most spectacular four-wheel driving in this country, some of the best scenery.
How about the campsites?
Exactly. So it's something you really need to enter. All the details of leaked now on our social media, so make sure you get in that and get involved because, like I said, people are going to win this and it's going to be a trip of a lifetime. Not just for me, but for you guys too.
And here's a little to get you thinking. I almost guarantee, in fact, I 100% guarantee, you'll have never been here.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yep.
Very few people have, mate, and what makes this place so special. I love seeing fails because it makes me feel a little bit better about the way I drive.
Yes.
But this one here is Clarky Boy, mate. Imagine failing in front of all your mates on the climbys track.
You don't want to fail in front of these mates.
Check this one out, mate. It's all going well so far. He's into it, though. There's no doubt. Bit of right foot, bit of right... Oh, he's taking a bit of a lean here.
Oh.
He did not even back off.
Yeah, he didn't.
The two wheels were in the air, there was still throttle applied.
That right there. That right there is a really good spot to fall because if it happened anywhere else, he would have come all the way back down the hill.
Wowzers.
So,
wowzers. He's giving that a go.
And look at his mates come to the rescue.
Trying to push it over. Good. You might need a winch on that, boys.
No, I reckon. No, they didn't.
They'll need a winch. There's no doubt about it.
Well done. Okay, this one here comes from the US of the A's.
Yeah, mate. Evil FJ.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying something about the USA. When your mates are blocking the exit and you just can't wait. See what happens here, mate.
I know what's going to happen here.
Wow!
Oh, my goodness. Oh, he's got it. He's got it.
And he sprayed his mates too, did a full roost.
Evil FJ, if you haven't got yourself a full send T-shirt, I mean, you're part of the club, mate.
What is that? That's a...
He's just got himself hung up a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was not shy to give that a go.
Oh, right. That was from the Toyota Jamboree.
Wow.
They all get together and do stuff.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I reckon if I was in the States, they'd invite me.
No, they probably wouldn't. But imagine being there at a big jamboree with a whole heap of people from all over the country.
Oh, and trying to manoeuvre like that?
You'd do that.
You'd be buying the beers that night.
Right, we've got something here, same but different, from Dan. How are you, Dan?
Oh, this reminds me.
They're touching.
This reminds me, if I can just say this a little quick story.
Yeah.
I was down in Coffs Harbour
Yep.
and this happened. There was a bloke stuck on the track and I thought, I'm in sort of twin lock, 35s, all the rest of it. I thought, look, I can drive this mud like no business. I'll just zip up in a muddy hill climb and just get past you. I'll then recover you, drag you to the top. You can shout me a beer and look, maybe your girlfriend will give me a number. Who knows? So what actually happened is as I was creeping around the side of him, Sooty slipped into his tray and I hit him with my bar work. It was very similar to this and very embarrassing. I haven't even said g'day to the bloke yet.
Good Lord, man. No, it's why we don't trust you out there. But yeah, look, they've actually touched him.
They've touched. There's panel damage. And the boys are thinking,
what have we done?
Well, the good news is one of them's at least a Nissan, I can tell. And
okay, here we go. Kieran's mate finally finds his missing 10 mil. I don't know what's going to happen.
You always lose a 10 mil. No, I lost a 10 mil this morning. I was working on a car for 10 minutes.
What's going to happen here? Yeah, that's going up a pretty steep hill, boy.
Go, lose 10 mil fell out of the car. That is so good. Well, he's probably wondering, what's that rattling?
Yeah, it would have been a rattling noise for sure. There it is, middle of the track.
Yep.
Well done, son.
Easy as.
Right here, mate. We've got a fail or possibly a win. We'll be the judge.
From?
It's from Unzud.
From NZ.
I shouldn't do that accent because it's not even close to right.
Look at this, big Pajero.
Wow,
oh
wow.
My goodness,
Wow.
The big V6 kick
No,
in
that's
the
a
gear
win.
there. Look at that.
That's a definite win.
Well, it's a win because he didn't go on his lid.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
And he saved it. Actually, that's just good driving.
Definite win. Okay, mate, when you don't check your snorkel seal, you turn your turbo into a water turbine.
Oh.
That's a deep little puddle. So
yeah, that's caught him out.
He's got a mate on the drone who looks like he's panicked and decided to send the drone. No, he's doing well.
Old every day's a disco. Not today, champion.
Oh, look.
That was like
What's that? What is that?
I don't know, but it seems expensive.
Oh, it does.
That was like us the other day in the 40. Just water, we had it up to our laps.
That's still
never a pleasant feeling.
That's expensive.
Yeah, that's
yeah, that's a bummer.
That's a bummer.
And I mean, Defender parts are pretty cheap though. You'd get that somewhere, secondhand.
Or Discovery parts. They're not the same, mate. That's a bit racist.
Liam's weekend in Kenilworth gets a little wild. Oh.
My goodness, that vehicle is pretty wild.
It is. What is that?
That is a GQ, mate. GQ Ute. Yep. And when that thing's done that, you know the track's pretty hard.
Yeah, he's not looking happy.
You've done a selfie in front of it. It's fully on its side. you can see the tear coming out of his eye.
Yeah, you can.
He's not stoked. Not stoked.
This week's winner, though, we've got Jared for sending it too hard in a Jimny in the glass house.
Have a go at this.
In a Jimny too,
I know exactly where that is, and
bottomless.
Let's just say you're not going to make that mistake twice.
I wonder what that snatch trap was. It scared me. I thought it was a snake.
He's on edge.
I'm on edge.
He's on edge.
Spin the cable well. Oh, he's put the water all through it.
Yeah, that thing has been flooded. That is such a cool car, though.
It is a lovely little car. Geez, he's a big bloke. He only just fits in there.
Yeah, I know. He's got the Jurassic Park paint job.
It's bucketing out of there. Oh.
It's a bugger. But look.
$100 gift voucher.
Exactly right. You might have damaged your vehicle and probably a complete write-off.
Could be, but you can get
got yourself a $100 Snatch Clothing gift voucher.
And I mean, that's as good as a Jimny anyway.
That's got to ease the pain, doesn't it?
Well, probably not.
No,
but
not really.
It'll certainly go a long way towards helping. Righto, mate, if you've got a rig worthy of your attention.
Oh, mate, and there's some good rigs out there, and I love seeing them. So, $100 gift voucher from Snatch Clothing for you guys. You can spend on whatever you want, and you and your rig can look the part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. First cab off the rank, and it's not a cab, it's a BT50. Shaun from Victoria, 2012. Yep. Single cab. It's not every day you see a BT50 with an owner willing to take on the tougher tracks of Victoria, but this rig is built to wheel hard.
Look at it. He's not shy of giving this a steer.
He's done a good build-up on it, so it's very neat.
It looks, I was about to say, it just looks nice.
Shaun's single cab BT50 isn't just built for show. It's capable enough to handle the tough tracks Victoria is known for. There's a 2-inch lift, long travel front shocks and a sway bar delete, heavy-duty fully adjustable upper control arms, aftermarket lower control arms, and a welded-in diff drop. The rig is protected with custom sliders, bull bar and bash plates, and features a rear locker, extended brake lines, winch spotties, and a canvas gull wing canopy. Pretty darn tidy.
How's this one, mate? Ben with his 1999 TD42. This thing is just built to, it's a tough tourer.
That's the word.
It'll go anywhere and still drive hard tracks.
Yep, absolutely.
Again, it just looks nice. Ben's TD42 was built both to tour and to tow around Australia, as well as serve as a daily driver. It features some impressive engine mods, including an 18G turbo, a 12mm pump, large front mount intercooler, a 3-inch straight-through exhaust, delivering 200 horsepower and 671 newton meters of torque at the wheels. This rig sits on a 3-inch lift and 35s with a remote res shocks and an aftermarket control arm.
Right, mate, we've got Paulie, and he's nicknamed this little beastie the Panda. I'm guessing,
I wonder why.
To me, that is a rig.
That is an absolute rig, mate.
This Schmidt rig has got plenty of clearance with a 4-inch lift with 6-inch shocks. Paul has also added sway bar extensions and aftermarket drag link and tie rods, plus he's fitted 35s on 16-inch steelies. The engine is a 1HZ turbo with top-mount intercooler, and the rig is protected with a custom bull bar, rear bar and rock sliders. Combined with some handy camping mods and 12-volt, this is a vehicle ready to take Paul anywhere.
Well, mate, of course, there's going to be one winner.
And who is that?
Mate, that is Endak Hudson.
Correct.
Check out this Rangy. It's a Rangy Classic, absolute cracker. But what makes this one so special he's actually done a diesel conversion.
That's crazy.
So he's got rid of the old gas guzzling V8.
Yeah, get that out of there.
Got that out of there and put a diesel in it. And
he's done a good job too.
And, mate, this is the cool thing about this story as well. He's working and saving his way around to do a lap of Australia.
Good on him.
So he's built this car to basically go anywhere and also live out of course.
Does that picture remind you of anything?
He's done all the hard tracks around this country. He's not afraid to drive this thing, which is really cool about it. And, you know, I've got a soft spot for Rangy Classics, mate. They are cool cars, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. But anyway, he does, and that's fantastic.
Mate, especially when they get out and get used, because you don't see many Rangy Classics around.
There's a reason for that.
I think they're really cool, and I love what Endak has done with that one, mate. He's really made that one work.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Endak wanted to own a 4B that could go anywhere, be completely mechanical, cheap to buy, and have readily available parts. He settled on a Rangy and converted the petrol motor to a 300 TDI turbo diesel and added a front and rear air locker to the equation, and also ATB centre diff lock, plus upgraded the CV's axles and flanges. He's upgraded the brakes with disco and defender parts, and NDAC has also fitted 80 series shocks and the spring lift with 2-inch shock turrets, caster-corrected radius and trailing arms, and 33-inch muddies. And of course, a winch and a snorkel. He's also saved a stack of money while at uni to make it up to Cape York and the NT, and he's currently doing a complete rebuild in the driveway to get the old girl ready for another big adventure.
Well, mate, congratulations. That is a very worthy rig.
I love that thing.
It really is a worthy rig, and I wish you the best of luck on your continued journeys around Australia, mate. When you get to the southwest of WA, give us a holler.
Yeah, we're around.
I'll show you around.
You're around.
Now, how do you get your rig featured, mate?
The mayor of Southwest WA over here.
I'm not the mayor.
Well, to get your rig featured, there's a multiple ways you can show us your rig. And one of the best ways, of course, is to use the hashtag 4WD247rigs.
Yes.
And that's the best way.
It's the only way, really. That's the way to do it. So, folks, take a photo. And here's a tip from me. Make sure your photos are crackers too, because that does catch our eye. That
really helps.
Yeah, it does.
You get a bunch if you can do that. Get some really cool ones like you've seen on the show today.
Yep.
But hopefully you get to show us your rig and maybe you might win a prize.
You know, like a lot of good rigs out there, there's always one angle that looks way better than any others.
I know, you get that angle right.
And you're going to win it.
Holy heck.
Mate, last thought. I didn't really want to bring this up, but we're going to.
Okay.
I hope you're not embarrassed by this.
Oh, I won't be.
Cooking.
That looks yum.
A lot of people have been inspired by the cooking segments.
No doubt.
For reasons I cannot imagine.
I think because, mate, when art meets chefery, you get some amazing
Neither of those words work.
combinations.
There's no art, there's no chefery. However, a few of our viewers have decided to give things a go. Now, we showed a few last time.
Yep.
I want to continue this time and show you what can actually be done when you know what you're doing.
Wow.
What we've got here.
Wow.
Jenny has made beer can burgers and the pounder.
Oh, Jenny.
Look at her beer can burgers.
Jenny, if you want to come away on a trip with us and take over the cooking duties, for instance, and you cook something like that.
Look at that. That is so much better than yours.
That is amazing. I wish I had
And look at that. It's actually in the thing it's all put together.
How you're so precise with it all.
There's more.
Oh, wow.
Sure, I tried the pasta recipe with the Turkish...
It's pronounced suck. It's a Turkish sausage.
I was about to say something completely different.
Sukuk? Suck. Sakak.
Similar?
No, suck. It's a suck.
Okay, it turned out better than yours.
Oh. Well, you didn't taste mine.
No, you haven't tasted his suck.
What's his name?
Mehmet Guna.
No,
Mehmet Guna.
He's probably got more authority than me on it.
He would do. So Ben Van Graan made the beef stroganoff. The beef stroganoff, he made it for his mum and himself, and now... She wasn't, but she is now. His mum is an avid 4Drive 24/7 fan.
Far out.
Takes one good meal, hey boys, and I've always said that, lads.
I'll tell you what,
that's
Ben,
all it takes.
say good day to your mum for me, mate.
That's weird, but go on. Continue.
How about this one, mate? This one's from James. He's tried to make some of that stuffed chicken breast and he got arrested.
You're doing it wrong.
I reckon...
You're doing it wrong,
Look, you
mate.
don't want to be doing that in public, that's for sure.
You're doing it wrong. Let's move on. Down here. Travis Lockhart, he just paid a dirty bird.
Yeah, that's a good one, though. That is lovely. Oh, you made the triple stackers, mate, and you didn't chicken out.
I wonder if Travis has ever made the dirty turkey.
I mean, that's if you run out of chicken, you can try that one. Lee has also made one of my meals, and he got rid of COVID.
Yep.
Now, that's some serious talk right there. Exactly right. I boulieve that.
Mitch McDonald had the pounders last night for tea. I'm glad he said that. Were that big of a hit, I had to cook another for Smoko today. Then dinner again. Mitch, no.
Mitch, you're an absolute legend, mate. You're absolute legend. Look, let us know about this stuff on social media because, look, if you're giving my meals a bit of a go, and look, maybe they've helped you get a lady over the line, I don't know, but...
Or a bloke. Whatever.
Look, let us know. If you've cooked them and they've actually turned out half decent, let us know in the comments as well, mate, because it gets me a bit of inspiration and I go through that and it gives me the confidence to be able to come up with the next gourmet recipe.
Gourmet it is.
Gourmet.
Okay.
I can read, mate.
Mate, what have we got coming up?
Coming up on 4Drive 24/7, we have our part 2 of the Kimberley.
Yes, we
That
do.
is right, and that is an absolute cracker. Like we said before, we are so excited about this one. We're very proud about the Kimberley
we are.
episodes,
We are,
mate.
actually.
But we did a lot of planning to do that trip, and it just, when I say it come together in a way that...
Man, never forget.
You'll never ever forget. We certainly won't. And when you guys watch part 2 of our adventure, you'll see exactly why we're frothing so much on it, mate.
Exactly. And we're right off the back of that. We've gone home for about 5 days. Had a shower, and we're straight back up the Cape right now in the 47.
Drove the big farm truck up.
We're about halfway through the trip. We've got another week or so to go, and this I know for a fact this one's going to be an absolute cracker too. So, folks, what I'm getting at here is that you have got some content coming your way.
Yep.
It's going to blow you. It's just going to blow your socks off. I say that.
It might do.
Yeah,
it might do. So
put
be
an elastic
careful.
band around them because they couldn't blow off. Your socks will come off, folks. we've had an absolute ball. We're at Bramwell Station tonight.
Exactly right. And mate, if I've timed this right, we're just in time for happy hour to hear Ken give his little speech.
Oh, yes. And, this is very true.
I love this part. And when you come up to Cape York, try and close your mouth and knock the flies in, but also make sure you get down to Bramwell Station. This place is one of my favourite places in Cape York.
We were driving up here today and I said to Shaun, I look forward, from the year we do it till the year next year, I look forward to coming up here to Bramwell Station and say, it's live, there's birds flying over the top and saying it out of Ken. So next time you're coming up the Cape, and I hope you're planning a trip, drop in here, say it out of Ken, say that Graham and Shaun sent you up here. Right now though, mate.
He might even give you a free beer.
He won't.
No, he won't. But
it's a business, he's got to run it. But now, folks, one last thing too. Please don't forget, we cannot say enough how much we love hearing from you.
Exactly
Having content from you guys. It's not just about what we're doing. We want to know what you guys are doing. Fails, rigs. The way to do that is to keep in touch with us on Instagram, Facebook. You can do it on YouTube as well. You can put comments in there. We read all of them.
Absolutely.
But what's important, please don't think that your comments, your contribution goes unnoticed, because it doesn't.
I'll tell you what, there was about 5,000 comments on the Kimberley one.
I know.
That's what it's up to at the moment, and I've gone through all those.
Yeah, we have. We've sat down and had a look at all of them. And folks, it means, to Shaun and I, it means so much that you guys care enough to actually put a comment down. That to us is amazing. So please keep that going.
And you might win a prize.
You can always win a prize, of course you can. Right. So yeah, rigs, fails and comments, guys, we love them.
I just want to make a quick mention as well. I said it before about the Iron Jack Ultimate Bucket List trip. If you haven't entered yet, do yourself a favour. It's going to take yourself about 30 seconds and you could be riding with me. You'll take this bloke's place, hopefully.
That's actually not the best part of the trip.
And and you'll be going to one of the best destinations in Australia for forward driving, camping and fishing.
This destination is off tap. I cannot say that enough, and I say every destination is fantastic.
But this is pretty special. So make sure you enter.
Now though, folks, thank you so much. It's not beers in the shed, it's beers in the bush. We've had an absolute ball. It's happy hour, so it's my shout.
Your shout.
Cheers,
happy hour.
Mate.
Of course it is, mate.
We'll catch
See you
all
guys
next
around,
time.
eh?